Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I have been doing these videos as part of a series talking about my journey with topical steroid withdrawal, also known as TSW. If it is that you're going through this condition, or if you know somebody who may be going through this condition, or probably just have a skin condition or eczema, then I do hope that this video will help in some way. Now today I want to do things a little bit differently because I've been talking about how this condition has either ruined my life or how I've been trying to cope with this condition or actually getting through this condition. But today I want to talk about how this condition has actually taught me more about myself, taught me more about life, and has actually impacted me in a positive way despite the various difficulties that I have been through with this condition. So without further ado, let's get into it. One of the things that I appreciate about this condition is that it has caused me to slow down a bit. And at first, it seemed as though it was robbing me of something, because I'm not the type of person who likes to slow down. I like to be active. I like to be busy. I like to be doing various things. But this condition has caused me to kind of take a step back as it relates to my life, and just be able to be more conscious, be more aware of how it is that I'm treating myself and how it is that I am treating my body. And I think that is something that I know, not just me, but I know a lot of people, we all take it for granted a lot of the times when we can just get up and go and just get things done without even a thought, right? And it's not until we get to a point where our bodies are forced to slow down unfortunately due to sickness a lot of the times, that we're able to recognize that our bodies have been screaming all this while, or that our mental state has been screaming all this time. And so one of the things that I appreciate about going through this condition, as difficult as it has been, is that it has forced me to listen to my body, right? It has forced me to pay attention to not only the things that I consume and put into my body, but also it has forced me to pay attention to the things that I am putting on my body as well. One of the things that I have maybe tiptoed around in the past, because I pretty much hear persons sometimes talk about, the importance of eating healthy and the different ingredients that are in our foods, and the ingredients that are in our medication that we take, for those of us who take medications. And it's something that kind of just, one of those things that I kind of, oh, okay, it's bad for you, okay, what are you gonna do, right? But I think at this point in this season that I am in, I am more aware, hyper aware of being more careful with the things that I am putting into my body and on my body as well. I realize that I'm now starting to read labels, and not just read the labels for reading them sake, or to read them to find out how many calories are in the things that I'm eating, but I'm actually looking at the ingredients of the things that I'm putting into my body. It's unfortunate that we have to be forced into having to give up these things due to a life or death situation, rather than actually choosing to eat healthier, choosing to put better products on our skin, or choosing to not put products on our skin at all, because truth be told, our body does not need a whole lot of these products that we're putting on them. Yes, it smells good, yes, it feels good, but at the end of the day, if we're to research and really look at the things that we're putting on and in our bodies, yeah, our bodies are crying out. And so I'm very grateful for the fact that this condition has helped me to open my eyes and see the dangers of what I was doing to myself prior to TSW. Now, one of the things that I prayed about while going through topical steroid withdrawal is that I really and truly asked God to help me to see the manifestation of my healing on a daily basis. And since I have prayed that prayer, I am telling you, I am able to see each and every day, even the very smallest of things that is causing me to be like, oh, this looks a little better than it did yesterday. There was a period of time, especially in the beginning when I was going through this condition, that I would just sit and I would cry and I would feel so sorry for myself and I'd feel so frustrated and I'd feel like giving up and I'd feel like nobody understood and I'd feel like there is no light at the end of the tunnel. And when I say that I felt like there was no light at the end of the tunnel, I mean there was no glimmer of hope in my mind at one point, right? And when you get to that point, it's really hard to hold on to faith knowing that you will heal, because you're like, how am I going to get out of this? How is my skin going to go back to what it used to be? You know, when I see my skin wrinkle the way it does, even right now in my forehead, I'm like, when is this going to go away? Is it going to go away? Yes, it will go away. But in going through, there are things that your skin goes through that makes you wonder if this will ever change. And so that caused me to include in my prayer as I reach out to God, as I, pour my heart out to God, that, help me to see the manifestation of my healing on a daily basis. And I will tell you the honest truth that since I've been praying my prayers that way, that I have been able to see even the smallest improvements in my skin. What that has done for me is that it has helped to put me in a place of gratitude. It has helped to put me in a place of knowing that even when things are tough, even when they're challenging, even when it seems as though literally all hope is lost, that there is something that you can look to say that at least this is happening, and you can look to that as a positive thing. Things will never get that bad to the point where you cannot say that at least, right? At least I am alive. At least I can breathe. At least I have food on my table. At least I have a shelter over my head. At least I'm not sleeping outside. At least I have running water. Like there are things sometimes that our challenges will cloud us a lot of the times and make it seem as though, everything is just bad. But the truth is that that's not true, right? Everything isn't always bad, even though it may look that way. It may be painful, it may hurt, it may be the most agony that you would ever go through, but at the end of the day, there must be something that you can give God thanks for. And that is one of the things that I have been having to look to, to keep me going, is that I look for the little things. I don't look for anything big, because as far as I know is that I'm not gonna just wake up one morning and all that I'm going through currently today is going to disappear tomorrow. I know that's not going to be the case. Based on what I'm going through, it's a progressive situation and my healing is progressing, right? It's not a quick fix thing. It's something that is happening over time, and eventually one morning I will wake up and all of this will be gone, but it's not going to be at the snap of a finger. So when I wake up in the morning, I give thanks that today I'm not itching as bad. If I sleep throughout the night, I give thanks that at least I got a good night's rest. And even if I didn't get a good night's rest, when I wake up in the morning, I can say, at least I'm not shedding as much as I did yesterday. I didn't sweep up as much of my skin off the ground today. I know that's gross, but that's my reality right now, right? I give thanks for the small wins. The other day I went out to get my nails done, and I was grateful for the fact that I could walk in the supermarket and I did not have to hold my head down, and I didn't care who saw me in the supermarket. Why? Because my skin is looking a lot better than it did the last time I went to my nail tech, right? I also am grateful for the fact that now I can regulate my temperature a lot better. Over this past weekend, we had what seemed like a cold front because it was a lot of rain. We had a lot of rain and the wind was very cold. Jamaican cold, not US foreign cold, right? But Jamaican cold. And I was grateful for the fact that the cold wind wasn't painful. My eyes weren't puffy. My skin was a little bit dry, but it wasn't as dry as it had been in the past. I wasn't running and closing every door and window, and every time somebody went outside and opened the door, I'd be, hiding because I didn't want the wind to touch my skin. So things like that I am grateful for. I am grateful to be able to see that things are improving. Are they improving at the speed at which I would want them to improve? No, but I am grateful for the progress that is happening, and that's important. And that, I think that is something that I will definitely take that away, even as I go through the rest of my life, to say that, no matter how bad things get, that we can still find the positives in each day and give God thanks for it. Because once there's life, there's literally hope. And once we have breath in our bodies, then that's enough to give God thanks for. So TSW has also caused me to be a lot more empathetic, a lot more compassionate. When you have gone through something like this, it causes you to become a lot more sensitive to people's struggles, right? It wasn't until I was going through the situation where I discovered that even some of my closest friends and family members, are also battling their own stuff, right? And I became a lot more sensitive to the fact that we are all going through our own individual struggles. And a lot of the times we tend to look at persons and think that because they go about their everyday life, and they probably post on social media, and they probably look like they're doing well, that there are things that we don't know, right? I can't count the amount of times where persons who, especially since I've been doing these videos, say to me that they had no clue that I was going through this. They thought I was fine. They thought everything was okay. And it just helps us to realize, or help me to realize, that you can't take for granted the fact that because somebody looks okay, that it means that they're okay. That's not always the case, right? TSW has tested me in so many different ways. It has tested me physically, mentally, and emotionally, and spiritually, and all of the alleys you can think of, right? But through all the difficulties that I have gone through with this condition, one of the things that I've recognized is that it has made me more resilient. There is a lot of things that I would have said that I could never do, that I could never go through. And I think I definitely will be approaching life a lot differently, having gone through this condition, because I've realized that there were days that I had to sit in discomfort, but I made it through. Currently, I am having to be very patient with myself in terms of my healing. Again, it's not at the snap of a finger. Will I get healed? Will I be healed? Will I be whole at the end of this? Yes, I will be. But I have to be very patient with myself through it. I have to exercise a lot of self-control as well, because going through this thing will cause you to want to do things that isn't the best for you, right? There have been days when I want to just eat whatever I want to eat. There have been days when I would want to just take the darn steroids and just get a break for 2 days, and whatever happens. I've had that thought, right? But I had to weigh the pro against the cons and be like, you know what, it's not worth it. Going through this has helped me to recognize that those things that we say that we can't do, we can actually do them. This journey has given me the ability to recognize that I can push through the challenges. I can push through my circumstances. It's not gonna be like this forever, and I have to be patient with myself. I have to be more patient with others. And if I come upon a situation where things get more difficult than I would like it to get, it doesn't mean that I have to give up. I can push through it, right? I can push through it. And so I'm very appreciative for the fact that I've become more resilient as I go through this condition, right? It's one of the hardest things that I have ever gone through. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is something I don't wish on anybody, not even my worst enemy would I wish this on, because it is that bad. right? You're talking about your entire body from head to toe, your entire skin from head to toe, right? Your skin that, you know, not just the physical look of it, but how it feels, you know, and what this thing does to your entire body inside and out, right? But am I getting through it? I am. One of the things that this condition has done for me is that even in those times when you feel as though God is not listening, he's not hearing, that he actually is, right? I've had to, as I said previously, wait for my healing. And I had to trust that my prayers were being heard. I had to trust that this will get better. I'm having to trust that all will be well at the end of the day. That even though I feel like I'm missing out and I'm losing out and you know, things are happening to my body that really I would rather not have it happen to my body, that I can trust that this season that God is bringing me through is for a reason, is for a purpose, and that he will not leave me nor forsake me as I go through it. I had and have to trust that. And so my faith has to be through the roof going through this condition. I think it's such a beautiful thing, because I've had to cancel out everybody else around me. I've had to cancel out what everybody else is saying. I had to literally look and feel like a fool because I've surrendered, right? And when God has asked you to be still and know that I am God, for me, I am literally experiencing that. Is it hard to trust him? Yes, it is. It is hard because I don't know what tomorrow will look like. It's a matter of just leaving things be. Just relying on whatever he is saying for me to do and just focus on that. And if he's radio silent, then I know that day I'm going to either be listening to worship music, lying in my bed for the whole day, watching YouTube videos, and keeping myself comfortable until he tells me what to do next, right? And through this journey, I've had to listen. I've had to listen to the voice of God throughout this journey. I am better now at hearing God's voice than I have been ever. And I'm grateful for that. I really am, because I know that this is probably training ground for something else. I am learning how to hear his voice more now for something else. And for that, I am grateful. For that, I am happy to know that even though this is difficult, that he is training me, he is pruning me, he is molding me like the potter with his clay. He is molding me and shaping me from this experience. And I am grateful for that. I am very grateful for that. So yes, TSW has been hard. It has been difficult, but it has been one of my greatest teachers as it relates to life in general. And it has taught me how to care for myself. It has taught me how to live with gratitude. It has taught me how to love others. It has taught me how to be strong in adversity. It has taught me how to have faith in God. And I am very grateful for the positives that have come from me going through this condition. It's a tough learning experience, but I am happy for the positive side of it that I have gone through, you know. And with that said, whatever it is that you're going through in life, for me it's sickness right now. It could be a financial challenge, it could be a work related challenge, it could be a general life challenge. Whatever it is that you are going through, just know that you can get through it. Look for the positives in everything. Look for it, because it's there. It is there. And as I would say, normally in tough situations, this won't last forever. No season lasts forever. The seasons changes, and the seasons of your life will also change. Take away the lessons from all that life throws at you. I know that's what I'm doing for myself, and I encourage anyone that's out there, whether you're going through TSW or not, you're probably going through something else, whatever it is, just know that you will get through it. You will get through it. Thanks for watching. If this video encouraged you, please go ahead, hit that share button, share it with a friend, subscribe. I'd love to have you hang out with me over here, and like this video as well if you found it to be helpful. Until next time, see you. Bye.